So, as you can tell by my background, I am not currently in the truck. Um, Truck is in the shop. First things first, based on my last video, I wanted to update you guys. My family is back at home. They are safe, they are warm, they have water. The pipes did not freeze, they're in good shape. We averted a whole bunch of a mess there. And I'm thankful for the people in our church who helped take my family in to make sure that they were safe and warm. And I am thankful to God that the household is intact and the house is intact, and now my family's back home. Okay, so in regards to my truck, it's got a few things going on with it, which I'm not a mechanic, so I couldn't tell you specifically what all each of these things means. But first off, it's seeing ghosts. The truck has a front radar that it uses to detect traffic patterns ahead of me um, for my adaptive cruise. What the adaptive cruise is say I've got the cruise set at 65 and I'm coming up on somebody who's going 63. The front radar will sense that and slow the vehicle down to 63. The problem is right now, it's seeing when I've got nothing ahead of me at all, it's seeing that I am 0 seconds away from from whatever it is that it's in front of me, and it's panicking. It's afraid that it's giving me alerts that I'm going to have a collision. It's giving me distance warnings. It's doing hard braking all on its own. And now, the only way to avert that is to keep my foot on the pedal, which cruise control's been around a long time and even longer than I've been trucking. So for the last 3 days, keeping my foot on the pedal, my foot hurts. I know I shouldn't complain about technology not working because technology is great when it works, but still, that's an issue that needs to be addressed. Um, Secondly, for the last 3 4 days, every time I start it up, no matter what the temperature is, if it's 10 degrees, if it's 45 degrees, doesn't matter. Um, I turn the key, it starts, and within 5 seconds, it chokes out and dies. I turn the key to crank it back up, and the batteries are acting like there's no juice. Now, my truck has an APU, auxiliary power unit, that I run at night so that I don't need to idle the truck so that I can have heat and or cooling depending on what the temperature is. Well, not but heat or cooling. And the other thing is it charges the batteries all night. It keeps the batteries charged. So when I'm running the APU, I should not be worrying about a dead battery in the morning. So the last 4 days, I've been turning the APU back on to build the battery charge back up. And I go walk the dog. And when I come back, I try it again. And it cranks and it cranks and it cranks and it cranks and it'll finally catch. Now, it's only doing this first thing in the morning. For the rest of the day, I can start it and stop it, no problem. So that's an issue that needs to be addressed. There's also a phantom check engine light. Now, it's not phantom generally speaking because somebody can see it, but I can't. When the check engine light comes on, I go into the computer system and check the diagnostics to see what the code is, and it's not showing me that I have a code, even though the check engine light's still on. Now, when I told the mechanic this at my company, he was able to log into my truck, which is kind of weird. Apparently, the truck sends the fault codes into cyberspace or the ethos or the cloud or whatever you want to call it. And if you have the right info, you can log in to check and see what that code is. Now, my company has it and the dealership has it because when I pulled into the dealership, they asked me what my truck number was. They logged in and then they went, "Oh, you're throwing an EGR? I think it's EGR. E something or other, 3 letters every hour." I'm like, "Okay, what does that mean?" He goes, I have no idea. And he went, "Oh, and it's been a while since your truck's been in. There's all kinds of recall stuff that has to be handled too." So with all of that that needs to be done, um, my truck's in the dealership for I don't know how long. Company decided to pay for a room for me. They paid for one night, and I'll check tomorrow and see what the status of my truck is. And he told me to pack an overnight bag. I packed 4 nights, and I brought plenty of food for the dog. So um, if I'm here till Monday, I'm okay with what I've got. Um, but this is one of the things about trucking. It's not the greatest to be stuck in a motel room, but it's definitely beats being broken down on the side of the road waiting for a service truck. And this is one of the things about trucking. This is a standard thing. This is not a horrible thing. It's I have access to a bathroom. There's a little kitchenette in this hotel room. Um, and I have phone for delivery if I want to get food. Um, so it's not completely horrible. I'd rather be at home, but it it could be worse. Anyway, so that's what's going on with me. I'll keep you guys updated. Talk to you later.